Hello there everyone, and welcome back to SRB2. We are continuing our character replay series, where I'm going through and trying out all of the various characters at this point. Over 100 that I have reviewed and tried out and done various other videos on over the years. In this episode, we are coming to the end of it. I think out of those 120 or whatever, we've got about 10 left. I think even less than 10 at this point, maybe. But yeah, in today's episode, we are playing as the Horizon Characters. That is a set of 2 characters by, I want to say, Crystalline Gazer. 2 of them, for some reason, completely different size images. I'm looking around, I don't get it. There is Milne, who is some sort of crystal fox, who is able to throw crystals. I think they're made out of crystal or something like that. Something or other. And then also Iclyn, some sort of ice skating dog. You can decide how to pronounce their name. It's a similar situation as something like Jaina or Ku, where it's like, I can throw out a million different ways of saying this, and I can tell I'm going to get it wrong anyway. For some reason, Milne is ordered second, despite being the first member of the group, or at least in terms of release order. Milne was first. I can't remember when I went and reviewed them. I want to say it was maybe 2022. That sounds about right. In terms of what you can do, it's a pretty simple kind of triangle jump, I want to call it. Don't know what the proper term would be. Something like a triangle jump. You can then also throw these rocks. And that's kind of it. Maybe there's more, but I think this is kind of the gist of it. If you get close enough to an enemy, you can throw them like that. But for the most part, pretty basic. Pretty normal character. There isn't a huge amount to them. I don't think this will be a particularly long stream because it's only 2 characters, and I don't think either of them are hugely complicated. I think Iclyn's probably slightly more to them, but Jaina, I mean, if it's anything like this, not much you can expect. Ah, there we are. There's the other ability. I knew there was something I was missing. If you tap spin twice like that, you have this sort of crystal lance thing. I'm not entirely sure how it works. Or you can use custom 2 if that. Oh, sorry, custom 1 if that's easier. Well, we'll experiment a little bit. We'll see where it kind of comes into play. Because I gotta be honest, it doesn't look all too useful at the moment. Maybe if you attach the wall, yeah, you still keep your triangle dash. So it looks like it might just be. You have to do the lance first and then the triangle jump. And that will solve things for you. That's how you can climb walls more easily with Milne. Because if I remember correctly, I think this is more of an explorer kind of character. Certainly not a speedster. Okay, remember that does not in fact damage enemies. But it's fine because we've got our crystal sock gun effectively. The range of which is actually pretty decent. They look like the sort of projectiles that would just, you know, like give up pretty quickly, but in reality, they go quite the distance. Same, I'm terrible at then dodging Eggman's attacks afterwards, but there we are. Doesn't look like they have any emotes, or at least not anything set up on any of the buttons I've got mapped to the D-pad, which is most of the fire buttons. Yeah, definitely more comfortable using custom 1 than it is to use the spin button twice. Plus you can combo out of it with the triangle dash, but it doesn't look like a particularly strong combo at the end of the day. Be interesting to see where you can use out to drop off. I was about to say, right, moment of truth. Can C break into rooms like this? Yes, C can. And then we can use our abilities to get up. Somewhat slowly, because you can't actually then climb once you've attached to something, so you can only stick to it, which is what confused me for a moment. Don't bother trying to take out enemies with it, doesn't work. Messed that up. Let's, oh, throwing it, because we are close enough. Okay, I guess we're not going to attach to the wall. I don't know why it's suddenly being quite temperamental. I thought maybe it was the type of wall, but apparently that section over there is fine. So who knows? Huh. Okay, looks like we might be able to do a triangle jump both at the start and end of using the crystal lance, which would be good. Damn buzzes. They were a nightmare in the Samus episode we did last week as well. Way scarier in that mod than they usually are. Right, let's test this out. Okay, it looks like it just lets you use both parts of the triangle dash. Doesn't fully reset it, but at least it doesn't fully reset it. At least naturally it doesn't, who knows. So, well, again, well, as we progress, we'll figure it out. You might have seen that the spring cell, yep, that was by there, was broken when we dropped down. Milne is apparently heavier than the average character, being made out of crystal and all the rest of it. So C causes a shockwave like certain other characters if C falls for long enough. I'm sorry if my mic sounds a little bit off. It's kind of bent out of shape a little bit somehow. I'm not entirely sure how. But yeah, if it sounds a little bit off, that's why. It's good that you can seemingly throw the crystals in basically any situation, in any context. Makes things a bit faster. NZB asks, sorry, doesn't ask, says, hello. Hello there, NZB, how are you? Oh, messed that up. Great. Wonderful. We'll go the long way around. Can you tell that the majority of my time playing SRB2 recently has just been trying out dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of different characters, and I've kinda stopped being familiar with any single one of them. The thing is, I'm playing so much SRB2 testing characters out that I don't really end up playing many characters outside of it at the moment. I don't play much SRB2 outside of testing characters out for the ranking. I'm good. What is that mod? I have never seen it. This is HorizonChars, as said in the title. It's a collection of 2 characters started by Crystalline Gazer. It used to just be this fox girl here called Milne. Over time, a second character was added called Iclyn. It could be either, I'm not entirely sure. And that's when they became Horizon characters instead of just, you know, one character. Oh, come on, we're barely touching it. We're just barely scraping it by. Or just go the normal. I say the normal way. The normal way is to get that button. We'll skip it in the usual manner. I think as usual we'll do. I think we'll go up to. Oh, I don't remember the buzzers being this quick. Maybe it's the fact that I usually deal with them as I'm going by instead of just, you know, letting them hit me. But it's like, damn, terrorizing me at the moment. Right, yeah, as I was saying, I reckon we'll probably get to Arid Canyon with Milne, and then we'll move on to Iclyn. I'm saying Iclyn, it sounds a little bit nicer. I reckon, than Iclyn or Iclyn. Right, take out the X-Slimer quickly. Oh, no. Tapping L2 too quickly. Don't want to do that, or else you use the Crystal Lance, which, despite being a giant drill made out of solid rock, apparently does not deal any damage to an enemy. Don't ask me why. It's quite bizarre, actually. It really does seem like the sort of thing that would deal damage, but apparently not. Actually, you know, we'll get the emeralds here. Oh, don't throw rings. Yeah, we'll grab the emeralds here, and then if we just, you know, if we happen to get over 50, let's just try it out. Oh, finally, we've got a long-range option to deal with these guys. I was about to say, great, doesn't attack them, apparently. For some reason, again, playing the Samus mod last time, that was an entire game mode attached to that. Certain enemies, if you use the right settings, which we did, would get extra bonuses to make them tougher for the gameplay style. For some reason, fighting the crustaceans, their like bonus, their buff, was just to add baby versions of the crustaceans in front of them. It was bizarre. And then they were still as annoying as ever to take out, because Samus would end up aiming at their claw, because within the files they are recognized as two separate entities. A little bit of behind the scenes SRB2 knowledge for you guys. The crustacean and then the crustacean claw are technically distinct individual enemies. Okay, maybe giving them a little bit too much credit, but certainly they're considered separate objects in the files. I'm assuming because to get the look going, maybe in like 3D mode or something, they needed them to be separate for the look to remain similar. I really wouldn't mind the Crystal Lance going a little bit further. It's very stubby. It's not a very long range option at all. It's throwing me off a little bit. It's like, surely this should go further than it is, and it just doesn't. Oh. I do hate the crabs, especially when playing as Silver. I mean, playing as any character, honestly. Just a horrible time. Are they as bad as the versions in Metropolis Zone, the obvious inspiration for them? Maybe not. I mean, it's been a while since I played Sonic 2 last time. Hopefully, with the playthroughs in the background, hopefully I can get to that again. Before the end of the year maybe seems a bit optimistic with the length of time it's taken me to do each playthrough. But especially because soon enough there's going to be a period for a good couple of weeks where I can't really do anything but playthroughs. Maybe it'll happen. I reckon we'll definitely get to Sonic 1 by the end of the year. In terms of playthroughs, because if you don't know, I play them chronologically. But Sonic 2, maybe. Technically, I've already done a playthrough of it. It's the very first thing I did on the channel, but that was kinda crappy. So I would not mind redoing it. One, actually kind of vaguely knowing the layout of Sonic 2, and also two, actually having some commentary on it. And it isn't just a really low quality playthrough of a guy that doesn't really know where they're going and doesn't even have a good screen recorder. Goofball Gorby asks, Sunk, I think that might be a mistranslation of... Oh, I've messed the camera up now. I think that might be a... Why did I do that? I think that might be a mistranslation of the... of Google Translate on the YouTube comments, to be honest. It's got a little symbol next to it, which I think, if I remember correctly, symbolizes that they've auto-translated it. And as is always the case with an auto-translator, messed it up. It's annoying. The only way that I can get the camera set up so that I can actually move it around during gameplay is to put it on mouse, which means that in a situation like this where I'm trying to change to another window to have a look at the comments, that sort of thing happens. Didn't know that was a thing. Yeah, it was coming up last time. Someone was putting something or other in the chat. I can't quite remember, and it wasn't coming through because on my end they were saying something completely different. It's bizarre. Why did they do it like that? I do like the throw thing. It doesn't really come into play. Like, at the end of the day, it's never going to change how you play Milne. It is fun. Okay, and you can indeed boost springs by diving into them. Good to know. Alright, I reckon we'll see the super form for the first time here. If we don't mess up. Ooh, interesting. Is that actual new sprites, or was that just like a visual thing? It looked like the hair perked up quite a bit, but looking at the sprite, I need to pay more attention. Sprites don't look hugely different. Interesting colour scheme. Makes them look kind of like a raccoon, to be honest. I can't tell whether they're supposed to be purple or whether that's just the lighting. Like, are they purple, black? It's a little bit hard to see. But yeah, they kind of look like a raccoon now, or a tanuki. Right, take him out. When did you last play as a vanilla character? Oh, fair while ago, to be completely and wholly honest. I don't play much vanilla SRB2 at the moment. I never really have. Ever since I beat the game, it's like, it's not very interesting, you know. I play so much SRB2 with the modded characters, but at least with modded characters, you are getting something different each time. With the vanilla characters, I'm just running through the vanilla game again, doing nothing because I've already got all the collectibles and all of the time attacks and all the rest of it. I'm just running through with all of these characters I've already played the game a dozen times with. Playing through the same levels over and over again. It's not particularly interesting anymore, playing the vanilla game. It's just one of those things. It's not like, you know, SRB2's lost its charm or whatever, but it's always been a game kind of defined by the modding scene. And that's kind of given it a longevity that it definitely wouldn't have had if it was not for the modding scene. Sneaky skip by that. Go super again. It definitely looks like the hair perks up. I wonder whether they were taking any inspiration from like Japanese mythology or whatever, because I doubt there's any kind of links to the crystals, but they kind of look like a tanuki. And then this new look's really giving me that kind of pompadour vibe. I don't know what the term actually is for like that specific sort of Japanese gangster ruffian haircut look, other than the fact that it's Ruff from Yokai Watch. But yeah, other than that, it's definitely giving me that vibe, along with the kind of the longer jacket as well, and the fact that she's apparently some sort of like no-nonsense character in terms of personality. Obviously that doesn't come into the game that much in terms of gameplay. Goofball Gorby says, modding scheme makes it sound kinda evil. Well, you ask the wrong person. Considering how much drama apparently goes on, as much as I don't keep up with it, you wouldn't be surprised. Okay, crystals even in super form don't do much there. And then NZB says, I agree because I started playing SRB2 because I saw that you can play as Silver, and Silver isn't a common playable character in Sonic games. Yeah. To be fair, there really aren't that many common playable characters in Sonic games, especially not anymore. And the few times that you do get them, it turns out they're not actually all that good. I remember getting all excited for the final Horizon update for Sonic Frontiers, and then I played it for the first time and I was like, oh No, I don't like this. Especially because at the time I had just got out of playing Alan Wake 2, one of the greatest games ever made. Well, maybe exaggerating a little bit. A fantastic game. So then to go into the final Horizon, which I liked even less. Well, I liked far less than I did original Sonic Frontiers. It was a big disappointment. And it was a shame that Tails and Amy and Knuckles weren't all that great. I heard that they fixed a load of the problems, and I'm sure that if you play the right mod, it probably fixes them even further. But even so, I haven't got around to Sonic Frontiers again. I still play a little bit of Sonic Mania, Sonic Racing Crossroads every now and then, but Sonic Frontiers I haven't returned to in ages. Oh, this is risky. I should have gone back for the rings. Oh, messed up now. I will read the comments, just you're going to have to give me a moment to not die here. Why aren't they hitting him? Why is it hitting like an invisible wall just in front of him? It's getting a little bit annoying, Eggman. I'd like it if you would stop. Like, come on, that's gotta get him. Finally. Right. There we are. Egg Coliseum, I've done this enough times now, though. The rest of the fight. Never say anything too early. Never get too early with anything. Unbelievable. I got a bit nervous because, like, it's going to be right behind me, isn't it? And then it seems like maybe a little bit hasty on my end. Right. Blue, yellow. There we are. Just get right to the edge of the platform each time. Right. I loved SRB2. Played SRB2 a little bit. So I'm trying to read comments while also fighting the boss. Again, like I said, I think I'll give that a moment. Yeah, right to the edge of the platform. Fantastic. We'll just go the long way around this time. We won't try and jump over any spikes. Right. And up here now. And again, I used to think that you had to wait for Eggman, but in reality you can just go around here and do it this way. Ah, damn spikes. Got covered by the mud just a little too late. Right. Goofball Gorby, I played SRB2 a little bit that one time. Didn't like the controls and quit once I got to the second level and never touched it again. Interesting. Yeah, it's... I don't know what... I've never really... Once I eventually... You do have to... Okay. You do have to set up your own control scheme because I genuinely don't know what they were thinking with the de facto, at least controller control scheme is abysmal. I don't know what they could possibly have been sent that up for. Like, I still get comments on my controller setup video. They're like, they set it up for the Genesis, no, not like Saturn controller or whatever. Which one? Bizarre choice. Not many people are going to be playing it on a Saturn, much as that would be authentic. Saturn controller. And two, I then get people who have a sound controller who will say, no, it doesn't work on that either. So I don't know what they were thinking in terms of control scheme. So yeah, the control scheme, you do have to practice with it. I've messed this up. But once you do get used to it, it's not too bad. And then, yeah. It is a tough game. I never once I got past that initial problem with the control scheme, I never really had any problems, so I can't really comment. But I do every so often see people who say, like, yeah, I tried out SRB2, did enjoy it, and that, you know, that's fine. It's just like I don't really know what to say that might help you get around it. It's like how I I made a crass out video on Phantasy Star 2 recently, and a bunch of the people in the comments who have actually played Phantasy Star 2 were just like, yeah man, I can't really say anything about that, just go play Phantasy Star 4. That was like how almost all of the comments in that video were just like, yeah, it doesn't get better, just play Phantasy Star 4. Even though I'm too stubborn to do that. I'm biding my time before getting to it. Let's see, what else did people say? Mad Best the logo maker? Not quite sure whether I'm reading that right. But says, hi, hello there. I'm just going to say Mad Best. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. Haven't touched a modern, this is again Goofball Gorby, haven't touched a modern Sonic game that isn't Adventure 1 at all, and I've been playing is the classics, mostly Sonic 1 and 3 and Knuckles. Sonic 2 and me have a complicated relationship. Yeah, it's strange, that seems to be like a really common concept, or a more common consensus I'm seeing. Lots of people saying that actually, because when I kind of got into Sonic, it was always the unspoken rule that Sonic 1 and CD, Sonic 1, bad, CD, awkward, and then 2 and 3 were like the undisputed wonders. But now that I'm seeing a lot more people saying that Sonic 1 actually is good, Sonic 3 and Knuckles is a little bit overrated, and then Sonic 2 is just outright bad, and Sonic CD's the good game, the best game out of the classics, and it's like, I don't think I can agree. I don't think there's any way that I can sit there and agree with people that CD out of all of those games is the better, what is the best. It's just like, I get what they were going for, I just don't like it. Damond6826 asks, did you play as Tangle? Yes, I have. I made an entire individual stream about her. The episodes on her are really old. I really should get around to doing a full-blown retrospective on them. Maybe not a full-out review, because that's kind of what the ranking's going to end up being. Lots of mini-reviews. Certainly, like, look at her again. But if you also go back on one of these streams, there is, as part of the character ranking, one of them was for Tangle. So you can look for something there as well. Let's go the normal route. I usually go the long way around. Sonic 1 is actually my favourite classic Sonic game right now. Still haven't played Sonic CD yet. Yeah, Sonic CD, you might like it. If you're big into exploration and like replay value and all the rest of that, I can see the argument why that would be your favourite. But I'm not someone who likes replaying games all that much. It's why I do prefer the modern Sonic games over the classic Sonic games, because the modern Sonic games have just enough of just enough content comparatively that you can spend quite a bit of time with them before running out of new things to do in terms of, you know, like going for challenges, going for achievements, all the rest of that. Classic Sonic games, not so much. So that'd be a contentious issue, but there we are. Jutsu Devil asks, is this multiplayer? Yes, it is. I can't play it on multiplayer though, because it requires a technique for your network with port forwarding. Either you need to have control over your router, which I do not because I live in an apartment block, or you need to set up a system of VPNs, and I just haven't been asked to go and do that myself. Apparently, it's not actually that complicated if you know what you're doing and you watch a tutorial. But again, I just can't be asked, and it sounds like you probably have to pay for the servers for it, so no thank you. Used to be 3 and Knuckles, but the more I played Sonic 1, the more I low-key loved it. I never thought it was as bad as people said, even Labyrinth Zone, but like, to be number 2 now, it's definitely still number 3 for me. And my favourite YouTuber? You're too kind. What else are people saying? People have different tastes of video games. And I do think that's one of the good things about Sonic. Or, you know, bad things, depending on how you look at it. There's so much to him over the years. So many different styles and aesthetics and themes and levels of maturity and all the rest of that. That you really can get a different flavour of Sonic for whatever you want out of him. Which probably causes a lot of the arguments you see online about Sonic. Because it's like, Which version of the literally hundreds of different Sonics do you like the most? You're never going to reach a consensus on that. Especially with so many different like time periods and stuff to think of. Oh, okay. Bye-bye, Fang. Not necessarily how I meant to take you out, but there we are, I guess. Sorry. Can't quite tell what she's supposed to be doing here. Is she like spinning a circlet or something? Like this character can lift items. It doesn't really come up all that much. It's like a fun thing, but it doesn't come up hugely. Though I did used to think like you, but then I played Ultra Kill, and ever since then I wanted to understand video game mechanics and try to understand why I find games fun. That's the thing, like, I'm one of those people that want to try and experience everything. So I don't like spending huge amounts of time with a single game. It's part of the reason why I've tried branching out a little bit on the channel with the playthroughs and stuff. Because I just want to kind of experience everything, you know. And I don't want to just be one of those people that play nothing but Sonic or, you know, nothing but Mario. That sort of thing. Like, after a while, surely it must get boring. I say this, of course, as someone who's played primarily SRB2 on the channel for 5 years now, but there we are. Like I said, I'm trying to branch out. I've been meaning to branch out for years, and I've only just now built up the confidence to actually go for it. Go the long way around, and we'll go the top route. Maybe get super form? Oh, you... Oh. Wonderful. Alright, what do you do to Fang? Oh, picked him up. You can pick enemies up as Milne. And clearly I was just too close to them when throwing the my projectile, so it ends up picking him up. Doing it for Sonic 2 as of now, and trust me, it's been a rocky road. I can see the argument people make as to why Sonic 2 isn't as good as it was kind of wanted to be for years. Like, I can see the arguments, I just don't really agree. I think it's like, there's nothing to it but going fast, and it's like, well, yeah, that kind of is a Sonic game, you know? Like, at the end of the day, the goal is always to go fast. Has been from day one. And as much as people, you know, sometimes do get a little bit OTT when it comes to disregarding anything that isn't going fast in a Sonic game, I do think there is, you know, something to be said about a Sonic game that lets you go fast quite often. Probably a good Sonic game. Ooh, got around it, got around it. Damn it. Probably could have used the Crystal Lance there. Sometimes I love playing it, sometimes I feel like I'm fatigued, I just outright hate it. Sonic 2 is an enigma for me. Oh, I always forget which side of this lava river you need to be on. Oh, come on, I was past the lava. Give it a rest. I think we're going to call it quits for Milne here. The problem at the moment is it's just really hot where I am, and my apartment, it does not vent at all. Like, there was a heat wave a couple of weeks ago, and it feels like all of the heat from that heat wave is still here, because it just, no matter what I do, I can open all the windows, I can open all of the doors, and it's still there. It doesn't leave. It's horrible. I do not agree with people who say Sonic 2 is just hold right and go fast. It does that platforming. One of my main issues is the god-awful enemy placement. It's not even funny. Yeah, it does get pretty bad with that, especially by the end of it. Right, Iclyn. Iclyn? Right, so the awkward thing with Iclyn is that their like de facto control scheme is built for is built for keyboard and mouse, so it's like you have to tap forward a certain amount of times to get them to skate faster, and then it's a case of trying to keep that speed up as you progress. Basically, it's all about the flow. Problem is, of course, that when it comes to like tapping forward, that's obviously very different on a controller where you're using a joystick and not buttons. So you do need to change things around slightly. They have this one ability that's apparently based on Dirk. I think there's probably some lore between Dirk and this girl. Not entirely sure the nature of it, but it seems like it is there. And then you have this spin dash, effectively. It's quite a unique control scheme, to be honest. Not a bad one, but a unique one. Because it's all about, like, yeah, like I said, tapping forward and then keeping that speed going. You kind of naturally go very fast, but then don't turn much. Or your turning system is very different to the norm. In that instead of, you know, like turning in a circle, you kind of flick in the direction you're going, if you will. Skip and Egg Rock is valid, to be honest. It's not a great showcase of the characters. Like, at this point, you've seen what the characters can do. And I can't be asked to go through the final bosses and stuff, so I might as well just skip the final act entirely. Bosses, I imagine, as Iclyn's going to be a nightmare. I get the feeling that I'm going to say be quite positive about the control system, especially in terms of movement, and then also be like, yeah, it's really quite frustrating having to actually do any sort of precision, demanding any sort of precision from you with it, because it's not like there, you know, skating in and out and all over the place. It's crazy. What do you think is the worst act in SRB2? I made a video on the matter not all that long ago, so go look at that, is what I'm going to say on the matter. Just go look at my video where I go and answer that, because whatever I said in that, it's true. Oh, Azure Temple, that was it. Never mind, I've given you your answer, it's Azure Temple. That's the worst act in SRB2. Story mode, I can't remember. I think I probably put Egg Rock. One of the Egg Rock levels, probably, yeah, Egg Rock Act 1 forward. And I think I probably still agree with that. I know some people didn't like that. I think I put like Deep Sea Act 2 or something as one of my favorites. Which I admitted I was surprised at in the video, if I remember correctly. And people were like, what, you crazy? What about that 40-second slide section at the end where you don't do anything? And I was like, yeah, I kind of forgot about that when I was doing the ranking. I kind of forgot how all of these stages ended. Because when you get to it, pretty much all of the second acts in this game end with you just sitting there for ages doing nothing. Like, Techno Hill Act 2 is a bunch of platforms, so you just sit there waiting for them to go up. Deep Sea Act 2 has the slides. Castle Eggman Act 2 has that long final, that tall final chamber that you're jumping between. Arid Canyon Act 2. Yeah, just give me a moment, I'm going to turn on a fan. Sorry if you suddenly hear a whirring noise in the background, but it is boiling in here. So I need something to cool myself down with. So sorry if you hear a noise in the background. That's just a fan going off. Yeah. I mean, Arid Canyon Act 2, again, you end with your... Okay, that apparently doesn't break. Like, yeah. Arid Canyon Act 2, you end with the minecarts. Egg Rock Act 2, you've got the long platforming section, which I don't think anyone really loves. As much as... Why aren't you skating? As much as people, you know, like platforming in their platforming games, they don't love Egg Rock Act 2's platforming in their platforming games. Why are you just not skating anymore? Oh, right, yeah, I forgot. You can toggle them using square. Right, what are people saying? Goofball Gorby, something about Chemical Plant. I play enough Sonic 2 to know that Emerald Hill and Chemical Plant are the only zones where it felt like I'm on autopilot. After that, decent amount of platforming. Yeah. What's my favourite there? I don't love the casino levels in classic Sonic games. They're always strangely popular, but I don't like them. I don't think the pinball physics in Sonic are all that great. I understand why they're there. But, I want to say maybe Hilltop's my favourite. Like, I think that's got a great final set piece. Oh, Mystic Cave. I've always loved Mystic Cave. Although that's more as like a concept than as a location than maybe an actual level. I like that stage as much as I do. Royal Ocean is alright, but I think it'd probably be between Hilltop or Mystic Cave for me. What is the worst zone beside Egg Rock? I think I said Arid Canyon. I think that's what I put. I think I said Arid Canyon's the worst. Like overall. Or maybe Greenflower, because you know, Greenflower's so boring. When you're returning to it. It's a good tutorial, but you know, seeing as you're going to be playing it with is that where that precision problem comes in. But when you're playing Greenflower with every new character, you get very used to it. There's not much that it can throw at you anymore, and it's just like, more Greenflower? Wonderful. I'm trying to be as delicate as can be getting on this. Oh my god! Right. Wonders of Pandora's Box. You don't need to think about it. Get to somewhere you don't like, don't worry about it. Skip it completely. This is going to be quite an interesting level, seeing as we're playing as a character who can run over water sometimes, if they feel like it. Right, after this, I'm going to go and check what the code actually is to change the tapping control scheme, because this is a bit awkward. Rest of the SRB2 cast has been real quiet ever since Heavy learned to be able to destroy bandits by pointing at them. Very, very true. I mean, on genuine terms, it does feel like there has been a bit of a slowdown on the big SRB2 releases in recent times. Like, what was the last big SRB2 release? Frontier Sonic? That was like 6 months ago. Whereas back in 2022, you began them constantly. But like, today, I can't remember what the last big SRB2 mod was. Longest time I thought this game was finished. It's never going to be finished. It's finished as much as it needs to be. Like, as much as Sonic Team Junior claims that they're working on future versions, is like, yeah, maybe you'll get 2.3, but 2.4, we're all going to be dead and buried by the time that comes out. We're never going to see Dark City or Grand Exit. It's just not. It's not happening. They're not real. They're just there to taunt people. Right. Give me a sec. Why is the command to change the movement? Looking on my other monitor, hence the pause. Skate style. Right. Skate style. Right, skate style controller. Let's see how that plays now. See if that plays any better or whether it's, you know, just the same at the end of the day. Oh right, sets it to custom 1. I was about to say, what's the deal? Just turns off the ability altogether. Seems a bit ridiculous. No, you now skate by pressing custom 1 instead of tapping your directional input. Go the long way around. Is that Yoshi sound effect? get a ton of speed. I'm not quite sure what I'd call Iclyn. Maybe, probably a speedster. I think at the end of the day, with how quickly you can go just by tapping your main ability every so often, I think probably a speedster is fair. The, what's it called? Leaning's a bit annoying though. Not leaning. The, falling out. Ah, what's the term? Ah, it's a skater term. Or cyclist term. Where you just mess up completely. But the whole system, where every single time you use your main ability, you kind of get juggled for a bit for a moment. It's like, okay, I get it. It's a bit tedious, you know. Doesn't need to work like that. Right, round and round. Ugh. Round we go. Right. There we are, that's Deep Sea Act 2 finished. Simple. Simple, easy. I do like their sprites. Milne, I think, maybe not quite as much as Iclyn. I think Milne's probably cooler, but I think overall, Iclyn's probably better overall. Right, let's get the sea egg out of here. Not delay. Oh. Guess we tap jump again just before we hit the ground. Oh. Long skate around, everyone, but get there eventually. Easy. Yeah, I do think controller, funnily enough, control scheme works better on controller than the standard one does. I have been wondering ever since you made the 7 archetypes of SRB2 video, what is Infinite's archetype? If I remember correctly, because I am listing the archetype for each character that I am covering on this, it does come up in the, it will come up in the ranking. So I have made a list, or I have listed who each one is. If I remember correctly, I think I said Infinite was a all-rounder. Just not a particularly good one. I think I probably currently is a little too harshly placed. I think I probably need to buff him up in the rankings a little bit. Yeah, didn't love him, but considering where he is at the moment in the ranking, he probably should be going up a little bit. There are definitely characters that I started the ranking and gave them really harsh placements, and then I've kind of gone through and realised I probably need to bump them up, and I think Infinite's like that. Infinite was like that, Crystal Sonic was like that originally. I gave Crystal Sonic a really harsh ranking. I'm not sure whether Crystal Sonic is even one of those characters new SRB2 players even use anymore, but you know, back when I started they were one of the big ones. But I gave them a really harsh ranking and I had to buff them up because I was like, there's no way I can give them this. This is ridiculous. There's way worse characters, way higher up in the list than they are. I would go for the magnets, but a bit risky. No super music, because of course we are get it overridden with the new tower music. Come on, get up there. Good. Oh, I should also note at some point on the stream that the next episode, or next video proper, is going to be coming out either later today or tomorrow. It's SRB2. I wanted to get an SRB2 review out before I got back into the playthroughs. But it'll be that video, then a short break. I say short, it's not really going to be a break on your end, but on mine. I'm visiting family. But yeah, it'll be a review in SRB2, an SRB2 review, and then it'll be finishing eSWAT, finishing Phantasy Star 2. Hopefully soon enough the ranking video behind the scenes will be done, and then that'll free up my time with SRB2 to make a couple more videos on that. The problem is I don't really want, there's a lot of things I want to do in SRB2 reviews that I don't really want to do until I've finished my ranking, which is part of why there are some things I've been talking about that I just haven't done for months, because this has taken a lot longer than I had even originally planned for it to. Like, I was always expecting it to take ages, but I wasn't expecting it to take this long. I haven't been very quick working on it. I do think Infinite is good with the X Momentum mod. Yeah, I mean, Infinite's fine. I just don't think he really excels in anything. He tries to do too much, or maybe not enough. Like, there's a lot to him, and it's all just not great. So it's just a bit awkward. It's like, if you're doing this much stuff, you probably need to be good in at least some of it, you know? To justify the amount you're doing. Feel like, in my opinion, Infinite is a combination between a combatant and somewhat of a flyer. I disagree on the flyer thing, because if I remember correctly, he can't really get any verticality, and that's the defining element of the flyer. Is the ability, is the obviously the verticality. With Infinite, it's much more like horizontal in-air movement, which isn't really representative of any archetype, because like all sorts of archetypes have good horizontal in-air movement. Like, you know, speedsters have often quite good in-air vertical horizontal movement. They're not all of a sudden all combinations of speedsters and high flyers, so just one of those things. It has been a long time since I've gone on the lower section of this side of the level. And it's a great one to go on with Iclyn, because it's one that you need to be somewhat precise with. Oh, messed up, but I reckon we can save it. Yep. Just about. Oh, damn it. So close. Oh, damn it. Didn't know SRB2 hand character rankings. Nope, that's all on me. For ages. Making a tier list. I'm gonna tell you who the meta characters are in SRB2. Oh, you can't be playing as X-Sonic, they're not in the meta anymore. You need to be playing characters like Pepper. Pepper's got great team composition potential. You just need to give her a chance. I know her DPS isn't great, but just trust me, guys. I just buy my fist when something like that happens. Oh. That was another case of me buying the fist. Stops me from shouting. I generally don't shout at games, but sometimes if things in SRB2 it's just like, oh, come on. And especially with the whole bounce. I feel it's one of those things that you should only bounce Iclyn if you fully charge the ability. I feel that if you don't fully charge it, it's just kind of let it go, you know. Right, there we are. That's what I tried to do last time. Sonk is the meta. Yeah, can't disagree with that. Sonk's great. I mean, Sonk is the meta in my video editing. His video is really lightweight. It's only like 500 megabytes because of how low quality it is. So whenever I just need like generic, here we are, guys. This is SRB2 video. I'll just stick Sonk in the background. Because the problem is my vanilla Sonic footage is all him with Tails in Egg Rock, and that stage is just too dark. It's too dark of a stage, so it's really bad footage. So whenever I need SRB2 footage and I need no one to think about it, I just get Sonk, because he's in like Green Flower Mountain and stuff. So it's just like no one ever brings up the fact that all of my Sonic footage in my videos is always of a version of him that doesn't have any body. Like, people will bring up when I have like Gamma in my video and I don't mention him, or like Inazuma in my videos and I don't mention him. Actually, I don't put it in Inazuma in my videos. The file for my footage of him is too big, so it causes Premiere to take forever to load. So yeah, people bring it up whenever I have Egg Robo or Gamma or whatever in my background footage. No one ever brings it up if I put Sonk in the background. So yeah, for me, Sonk is actually the SRB2 meta choice. Just close enough to Sonic visually that no one ever brings him up. Probably just play regular Sonic. Time to play Sonic 1 with no spin dash, drop dash, air and ground speed caps on. Yeah, I think that's very fair playing Sonic 1 without all the extra stuff. Because at the end of the day, it was built... You're kidding me. Right, I'm just going to do Frozen Hillside. I'm done with the campaign. I think it's very fair to play Sonic 1 without all the extra stuff they added later on. I mean, it's... You know, it's all fun stuff. It doesn't, like, ruin the game. But at the end of the day, it was built without it. So, you know, if you want an authentic experience with SRB2, you probably should play it without all the additional stuff. And as for the lack of an Omega mod, there is no one hurt more by it than I am. There's no one more dismayed at the lack of an Omega mod, and seemingly even the lack of work on an Omega mod, as I am. I don't think I've ever heard of someone working on an Omega mod, which is ridiculous. Like, come on, surely someone in the SRB2 space, other than me, needs to, like, Omega enough to make a good, high-quality mod of him. Like, maybe I do it, but I don't know anything about programming, much less coding in SRB2, so, you know. The most programming I ever did was play a little bit of Scratch when I was, like, 8. I don't know, the first thing about working with, what was it, Lua? Yeah, Lua. Yeah, and as for NCB, like Heavy says, there is, in fact, a big mod. It's quite an old one. Yeah. Like, just search up... I gotta be honest, the searching on the forums is terrible. But if you go and filter it to just characters and go right to the start, sort it by date, go right to the very start, there should be a big mod somewhere near the start. In fact... this is going to cause the focus to shift, isn't it, if I go and check, isn't it? You know what, I think I'm pretty much done now with these characters. So while we're here, let me go see if I can get a, go and get footage of the big mod. Because I am curious, I want to see how old it is, what it can actually do. Because that's a character I really should get around to. If not, if it is, good. Alright, don't stop asking me about the push notifications, my god. Alright, if I do Windows capture. Let's see, does that go into the right thing? Yes, it does. Good. Good. SRB2 message board. Archipelago. I wouldn't mind playing Archipelago. I'm not entirely sure how it works. But it'd be good to, like, set something like that up. Again, maybe that's for after 5K and I want to be a bit more ambitious, and because as much as I'm branching out with different games and stuff, when it comes to actually SRB2 itself, I'm still kind of just doing reviews over and over and over again. So I wouldn't mind doing like an archipelago thing with SRB2. So, but yeah, that would take quite a bit to set up, so who knows. In terms of big SRB2 mods that came out recently, like I'm looking through, and there just doesn't seem to be anything. It doesn't help that they changed some things around, so you don't tell quite as easily. But if we go on like characters, like Peppino, when did that come out? That's a fairly old one, I think. Oh, sorry for the white flash there, everyone. Like 2025? October last year? I mean, that's not crazy long ago by like SRB2 standards, but like it's not ages ago. Right, but yeah, big. Let's see, when big's right at the start, I think. Because I also don't think they were one that's really updated much. So like, look at all these characters. This brings me back. Kirby, Tails Guy, Eggrobe, all of these characters that just were never updated. Flicky, Legacy S. Oh, that's really old SBO. That's not even like pre-Chaotix SBO. That's even older. Wow. Callie from Callie Macken. Haven't watched any of their videos for quite a while. One of the versions of Steve I've played. Lilac. Bandages. Just all of these old characters I don't see anyone play anymore. Jellytails. Jellytails isn't crazy old. But yeah, big should be back here somewhere. I mean, this is all like March 2021. Otherwise, I might just have to search for it. Meat Boy. I think I looked at doing Meat Boy a while back. But the other thing is just like, look how many people have been banned as well from back then. It's crazy. Jet the Hawk. That's another character I need to do. Princess Plasima. You don't see anything about them anymore. Kakademon. Wheelchair Inazuma. God, there were these few characters back when I started. Crazy. Like, it makes me realize I've been playing just SRB 2.2, but I got in like right at the start. Modern Sonic. It's crazy that Modern Sonic's been, what, 5 years without any updates? Crazy. Like version 5 and then just nothing. Jim. I don't know why I covered Jim. I think someone must have requested that. SK Bean, I did that back when I was just too scared to do anything interesting. Biggs definitely should be around here, though. Like, if we get past 2021 and we still don't see Big, I'm just going to have to search it up. Heads Boys, Willow, wrong cat. Is Willow the one that people keep asking me to do? I think it is. Crystal Sonic. Isa was banned? Crazy. I'm just reminiscing at this point, just looking through everyone. Alright, yeah, okay, I think we're just gonna have to go search a big. I thought they'd be one that'd be pretty obvious, but maybe they were taken down. Seriously, there's nothing on the entire site for big. Don't be ridiculous. That's gotta just be the search button being broken. Let's be vain. What are people saying about the JackalMan on the SRB2 forums? Okay, they are turning up. That's good then. And it's all just people talking about my videos. Why did this one come up when they searched me up? Oh, right. Sorry to JackalMan video. Again, it's not a good thing, but I love like searching myself up on things and being like, ooh, people are talking about me. Ooh. Little bit of vanity there. But anyway, I think that'll be it for today's stream. I really did think Big would be on here, but maybe they were taken down. You might have to look. Maybe have to look at other sites and see where they can find Big there. Because, yeah, I don't know where they're gone. I figured they'd be right there. Heavy from Eggman's mechanics. I wonder if any other character failed that tank niche other than Heavy. I mean, Mighty kind of is. Maybe not quite as good as he could be, but he kind of is. Oh, I need to turn off the window capture. Yeah, I guess, you know, Heavy's... Mighty is kind of there. Other characters... Ryder the Falcon. Ryder the Falcon's kind of a tank. Not fully, but there's elements there. And then there's probably a lot of like bulkier characters that I just haven't really tried out that probably fit into the niche to some extent, and I just haven't tried them before. But yeah, it's definitely not just Mighty. I think, sorry, not just Heavy. I think Heavy's definitely the purest example of a tank in SRB2, what that might look like, but I don't think they're the only one. But anyway, Horizon characters, 2 more list taken off of the ranking out of 10 in total, 10 left, give or take. So, you know, that was a fifth of all characters there. I'm inching towards it, stream after stream. I think next time we'll do the Ewaflaw characters. So that's Gemma and Blake. I would have done them earlier, but they get updated so frequently. I don't want to, like, you know, release that and then it turns out that they're like 5 updates behind or whatever. They're probably a character I'm going to have to make a disclaimer on which version I played for. But yeah, probably Ewaflaw characters next. So that's Gemma and Blake by... What's their name? Who was it? Was it Crystalline Gazer again? Ewaflaws? Whoever it was, that's next. And then yeah, I'm creeping around it, but we'll eventually get around to Stev characters, Dr. Steven. But yeah, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed the stream. Next SRB2 video probably will come out tomorrow. Tune into that one. My channel has significantly stagnated over this year, which is again fair because it's given me enough time to work on this ranking video behind the scenes. But it's a little bit discouraging having a look and it's all just grey all of the time. It's like, okay, yeah, okay, YouTube, that's great. It's really good of you to get rid of all of the, in terms of like improving the mental health of creators and stuff. It's great that you got rid of the ability to see dislikes, so you can't see which of your videos you actually need to work on and improve on. But then you made sure that all of your UI is just like grey and it's like, could be doing a lot better, you know, whenever you just like start experimenting. Whatever, I'm rambling here. Next video coming out tomorrow, hopefully. But for now, I'm going to say thank you all for watching. Tune in next time, and ciao.